Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Big Boy Week, Day 1. We are here at the Heritage Discovery Center on Lee Street in Buffalo, New York. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing something that this town hasn't seen in 85 years. We are going to be seeing Big Boy 4014 come rolling through here. So without further ado, let's check this place out, shall we?
Shoveling coal, trying to make some honest pay. My papa said, son, it's a good old job, just a working on the railway. Up with the sun most every day, and down to the railroad yard, driving those spikes and lifting ties and fixing those railroad cars. I'm working hard, just a working in the railway yard. I'm working hard, just a working in the railway yard. Underneath the tracks, replacing those worn out ties. The sound of metal hitting iron and steel as another train rolls by. Swinging that hammer till my body aches, pounding till my hands are red. Doing everything from checking brakes to building that flagman shed. I'm working hard. I'm working on the railway yard. I'm working hard, just a working in the railway yard. They say, Joe, why don't you quit working in the railway yard? But I just smile and shake my head, cause I could never see the day when I'm not getting my hands dirty, just a working in the railway. I'm working hard, I'm working in the railway yard. I'm working hard, just a working in the railway yard. I'm working hard, I'm working in the railway yard. I'm working hard, just a working in the railway yard. 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 Just a working in the railway yard.
10,000 tons a day.
A far cry from the 3 tons.
Most of these videos are taken at Burns Harbor, Indiana, plant near Chicago.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, moving along with our program here, we got a fellow member of the Historical Society here. This is MJ here. MJ, it's good to see us.
You too, Steve.
So, I hear you're one, seeing how decked out you are, you're definitely one who's into the big USA theme.
Yeah, the celebration of 250 years of our independence.
And would you also say that pertains to the American Freedom Train?
Yes, I wish they would run something like that very, very soon again. I am very pleased with all the different paint schemes that they're providing on all the different railroads to commemorate this.
It was interesting considering the fact that the first one that I saw was on the Buffalo and Pittsburgh. And I saw that, I don't know if you've seen the video on my channel, but I saw that purely by chance on, of all days, Good Friday. And it blew me out of the water when it came there, because I was like, when the heck was this a thing?
Yeah.
I thought it was only the Class 1s that did it.
Yeah.
But then again, going back and seeing the presentation that you did at the public meeting a few months ago, that was all just about every single railroad in the country. But then again, that was for the bicentennial.
Yeah. Back in 1976, when all the different railroad companies, and even in that presentation, it was like businesses. It's like everyone really celebrated and had a lot of American pride that year to celebrate the bicentennial.
Do you think they'll still have the same amount of pride for the tricentennial in 2076?
I hope so. I mean, I'll be just short of 90 years old, so hopefully I live long enough to see it, or we live long enough to see it.
True. So now I'm curious, what got you into the railroad stuff?
Well, it actually all started with this very society here. My older brother and I were always into trains. Obviously, we grew up in the 90s watching Thomas the Tank Engine and Shining Time Station, and then later on in life known what George Carlin was besides Mr. Conductor.
God.
But yeah, I was always into trains. I always went to the Arcade and Attica Railroad, the New York and Lake Erie, and around the time that this society got their New York Central coaches and that are now utilized on the Medina Railroad, I did conductor work with them starting as early as 2003, which was roughly a few years prior to that. I became a card-carrying member of this society here, and I've been with it ever since.
Nice. Now, if you had, considering how much you've seen both of 50 years ago and this year, how would you compare them between the bicentennial and the semi-quincentennial, or however it's pronounced?
I'd say with now the conveniences of social media, it's probably more documentation on this one compared to 76, but it is up to each person's opinion to decide if we have more or less pride since 50 years ago. I'd say we still have the same amount.
Now, I have to ask this to everybody that I have interviewed so far, and how would it be that you found out that Big Boy was coming?
Well, other than social media, with all the people I know in those different railroad groups, they have some maybe middle to lower level management connections to some of the big railroads out there that we're talking about trying to make a coast-to-coast excursion to commemorate this celebration. And when I heard, I sure hope that it comes this way. With the size and the logistics and all that, we haven't really had something like this come through here in a very long time, so we were wishing that this would happen, and I'm glad our wishes have come true.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, 11 years ago, I missed it when 765 came through. I was so upset with that one. But the fact that I was able to be like, I am not missing this one. I am not missing my favorite locomotive, ever.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of chasing that on the first day, and I rode it the second day over the Letchworth Trestle right before they took it down.
May that poor 1871 span rest in peace.
Yes, indeed.
That I still can't believe that previous span took only 60 days to build.
Yeah, it's amazing what kind of technology was around back then to do that.
Indeed. But yeah, I mean, it's great to be able to see fellow rail fans here and be able to just have fun. I mean, this is something that so many people have been waiting for. I've never seen this many people here just for one event like this.
I know, and it even spreads to any tourists that are coming to this area. I think some tourist economical push will be coming into this city, and on a similar transportation with that cruise ship that came to town recently, that'll help out immensely. The American Patriot.
Yep, that's going to be the new thing that they want before they start building the cruise terminal out at the Outer Harbor.
Yeah, the old beer restaurant.
Yep. Hey, MJ, I'm glad that we were able to run into each other and be able to get this interview for the show.
Oh yeah, my pleasure, and I'm glad that people our age are trying to carry on the historical dimensions of this railroading-rich historical city of Buffalo.
Absolutely. Hey, folks, not much longer now. That thing's going to be chugging up through, and we got a lot to do before then. So let's keep the show rolling before he comes rolling through. Let's get rolling. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another interview here. Right here we have Tom Fry here from the FCTT High Railers, who many of you who have been following the channel will happen to know are a guest at the Hamburg Train and Toy Show twice a year. Tom, it's great to happen to run into you again outside the show.
Yes, we were so excited about seeing the 4014 come by. We got lots of members here. We want to see it run live. We can go down to Steamtown and see the static one there, but nothing like the real live one.
Absolutely. So for those who are a part of the channel who are not aware of you guys, what do you guys like to do?
Okay, we are model railroad. We a high rail club. We basically set up layouts about 34. We have about 30 show days, 30 to 50 actually show days a year. We do train shows like the Hamburg. We go over to Syracuse. We do some in Rochester. We have a big location, big shows down in Hemlock, 2 other county fairs. Excuse me. We set them up for a week sometimes and run trains and introduce the public to model trains.
And you guys are based in Rochester, right?
Well, we started out of Rochester. We have quite a few members in the Buffalo area, and we also have members in the southern tier area, and we have members as far away as Dayton, Ohio, and Florida, retirees.
So now I got to ask you, Tom, what got you into all this with the trains?
As a little kid, I can't remember when it's first, but it was a little kid, and my parents had it back in '55, and had trains, and we played with them ever since. And then basically joined the club in 2003 and met a lot of people with the common things and common interest, and made a lot of friends, and I'm just enjoying the hobby. Now I since retired, so I got a little bit more time to play with trains.
Absolutely. I even remember, I mean, you guys have been at the Hamburg Train and Toy Show for about as long as I've been going all my life.
Yeah, I think it was 2004, I think was our first year, I can remember. That's when we made the switch over from tinplate track. We were founded in 1990 out of Edgerton, which has been around since 1950. It's a permanent layout in Edgerton. The police union, fire unit, basically built the layout. It's still there. They just celebrated their 75th anniversary. We celebrated our 35th anniversary.
Nice.
So we've been doing this for a long time.
Now, I've asked this to everybody that I've interviewed so far. How did you find out about the event with 4014?
Well, I've been following it. We talked about it. Actually, I was interested in the 4014. I was out in California, and that's when they were taking it out, pulling it out to take it for refurbishing. I can't remember what year it was. It was in Pomona. I drove all the way out there, and they said they were taking it out in the morning, and they actually had it taken out that night. And they tracked to get it out there. You couldn't even tell it was there. But there was several. It's the Los Angeles County Fairgrounds in Pomona, California. And that's where it was. And the reason why I was told why they could do that engine is because they kept really good care of it, and they had a lot of the records from it. And that's why Union Pacific could do something with the engine and restore it. So I've been following it. Club members have gone west to see it. So we've been following it quite a bit.
Awesome.
We have quite a few big boy no gauge on our layout.
And I believe for those who have followed the highlights of the show, you've actually seen them like I've seen them as well. And they are quite some stunning locomotives. I cannot deny they're some of the best I have seen model-wise.
Right. Thank you very much for that comment. We actually put on for our 35th anniversary last fall. We ran over 35 trains at that one show. And my favorite scene was I have a brass John Bull in O scale.
Wow.
And it was going around the corner. On the track right behind it was Big Boy. And
nice.
as you see, for anybody who knows, that's the original Baltimore, Ohio, I believe, passenger train.
That's awesome.
So, okay.
Hey, Tom, it's great being able to see you guys here. Of all the people I was not expecting to find here, I was going to find you guys here. But I'm glad that so many more people are getting the chance to come here and see this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Yeah, I want to see it run.
Absolutely, and I can't wait for Thursday when it goes down through the southern tier as well.
Yeah.
But it's going to be great. But hey, thank you so much for coming to interview.
Very much. You're welcome.
Everybody, this is Tom Fry of the FCTT High Railers. Be sure to check them out if you're ever in the Rochester area, Syracuse, Hemlock, anywhere.
Just check our
where the shows
website, and we'll tell you where we're at next time. Okay. We also have in Hemlock. We opened up a permanent place that's free. You can check it out. It's a CVRR. It's right across from the Hemlock Fairgrounds.
Thank you very much, Tom. And we will continue on with our showing. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all.
ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another interview here, and I'm actually here with a... This is Jerry Nadolny. Mr. Jerry, it's good to finally see you after quite some time.
Yeah, been a while.
And for those of you who don't know, Mr. Jerry is actually a former railroader. Quite a long time one, isn't that right?
Yep.
Now, I believe you told me you started back when it was the final 6 months of Penn Central.
August 6, 1975, and that's a funny story. I remember they told me Dr. Militello was right in the depot on Pederowski Drive. And they told me, you gotta go see Dr. Militello to get a physical. He was an older guy. I get there, and he says, how you feeling? I says, good. Bend over, touch your toes. Okay, you're good. He signed the form, and that was the physical on Penn Central in August of 75.
So, considering you're one of the few people that I know that has been on a railroad before Conrail, what was it like working with Conrail when that started?
Working with Conrail? Well, it more or less was seamless, because when I started out in August, I was on the mainline tie gang, TK 481. And I started out on the Falls Road in Medina. And it was setting spikes in front of the spiker, and it was the job from hell. I hated it. You were on your knees, bent over, just hitting it with a little hand sledge, just getting the spike in, and there was a hydraulic spiker that followed you and counted them down hydraulically. And you did that from sunup to sundown, literally. And it was a job from hell, but my girlfriend was expecting my first child, and there was no way I could leave that job, but it was like being on a chain gang. My first day on the railroad, I remember it was raining, and it was in the maintenance away contract, Brotherhood of Maintenance Away. We don't work in the rain unless it's an emergency, like a derailment or something.
Right.
And so I fell asleep on the bus. We were all in the bus, out on the track, out on the main line, waiting for the rain to stop to get track time to get the machines out of the siding, and I fell asleep. You know, a lot of us were sleeping in the bus, and I woke up. This is my first day on the railroad. I was like 19 years old as a kid, and I wake up and there's smoke, and all of a sudden somebody yells fire, and they're all hitting me on the back. The guys in the gang, and I mean, they were rough guys from all over the country. Mm-hmm. They put cigarette butts in my hoodie when I fell asleep. I mean, this was the kind of fun we had. Mm-hmm. We were staying in camp cars, and they would come in from the bar at about 1:30 in the morning, and we had to get up at 5 in the morning to start when the sun rises.
Yeah.
And in the center of the camp car, you had 4 bunks on one end, 4 bunks on the other end, and you had like a shower, and doubles and triple sinks, and there was them brown paper towels you dry your hands with. Mm-hmm. And then there was a big garbage can like you put out at the curb. What are these, 30-gallon or something they call them, the big garbage can. And that was filled with all them wet, damp paper towels. And these guys would come in from the bar at 1 in the morning and light that garbage can of wet paper towels. They would light them and start yelling, fire, fire. And us young guys that just started out on the railroad, they would come into our car. The old guys had their own cars, but they would come into the car where the new guys were and start the garbage on fire and start yelling fire, fire, and wake us up.
Dang.
And the car be filling up with, oh yeah. I was afraid to stay in the camp cars. I started staying in the Iroquois Motel. It was a bar with a rooming house above. I was afraid to stay in the camp cars. I was a kid. These guys were brutal. And I would stay there for $30 a week from Sunday to Thursday. We would go home on Thursday night because, well, it was four 10-hour days, but it really turned into 12-hour days a lot of times because you would work from sunup to sundown.
Right.
And then the first winter come along and we got laid off. It was the production gangs and then they put me over in Frontier Yard as a laborer right here in Buffalo, and that was a blessing. Well, they had a night tag on there. It was a maintenance away gun that they had on nights in case there was any troubles with the tracks to keep the hump going and stuff and the switches. So we used to have a short list that would be done by daybreak, about 9:30 it'd start getting dark. Our hours were 7:30 at night to 7 in the morning if it was winter. When it wasn't winter, our hours were 7 at night to 4 in the morning.
That's crazy.
And so then I bid jobs to get on days, but it wasn't much difference when it turned into Conrail. Conrail was April 1st of '76, and winter was just ending. I was still in Frontier Yard. I was in Frontier Yard for a couple years on nights after that. And that was it. I left the railroad in '93. I did consulting work on railroad injuries. And '93 I had to leave the railroad. I injured my back. It wasn't a railroad injury. It was private property injury. So then I started doing consulting work for law firms, and I still work for law firms. And
so
that's about it.
I heard this from a number of other railroads, but what was it like when the blizzard of '77 came in?
Oh my God, I worked that night. It was a Friday, and I lived on Sobieski Street in Buffalo, and I walked up to Buffalo, or up to Broadway. It was a horrible blizzard. And luckily a friend of mine, he worked in the diesel shop. He saw me on Broadway waiting for the bus because there was no way I was going to bring my car out. And he pulled over with his truck. He had a four-wheel drive, and he rode me into the yard. And that was a Friday night. I didn't get home till the following Wednesday.
Yikes.
What they did was we would work, our regular shift, and then we would go on overtime. And then after 16 hours, you would work 16 hours. Well, then when you went back to your regular shift, they would put us in a hotel and pay us on our regular shift straight time. And then when you went back in overtime, a bus would pick us up in the hotel. And I lived in Buffalo, but they kept even the locals in the hotel because they knew if we went home, we weren't coming back. They weren't going to get us back. So even, they put us in a local hotel in our hometowns, just to keep us, and they paid us around the clock for that week after the blizzard of '77.
So I'm curious because I've asked this to every interviewee.
A thing I can add to that about the blizzard of '77, we got a call on the radio to go on Broadway. They couldn't get a switch to get Amtrak in, and the Amtrak train was loaded with people. And we got out of the truck, and you put your hand in front of you couldn't see your hand. It was just pure white. And we got back in the truck, and we told them there's no way we can't do it. We were like on Broadway, and the main track 2 is right alongside of Broadway, and that's where Amtrak runs down mostly is main track 2 because that's where the platforms are.
Right.
They weren't in Depew back in them days. I think they were on Exchange Street, or no, they were still going to the depot back in '77. I think they ended going to the depot in the early '80s, if I ain't mistaken.
I think it was '79, I believe, was the last Amtrak train.
Okay, that's '79. But I remember there was no way we could help that Amtrak train, so then people were stranded on that train. We couldn't do nothing to get that switched. We couldn't even. We got out of the truck. We were out of the truck for about a minute. We got back in the truck and told them there's no way.
Yeah. So now I'm curious because I've asked this to every interviewee. What got you into trains?
Working there. I mean, when I applied, it wasn't because I was in the trains. I just was looking for a job, and I remember I put an application in January, and around July, they called me and asked me if I wanted a job on the railroad, and of course I did. The railroad was high-paying jobs. I remember my first day, August 6th, as a laborer. It was $5.03 an hour. I think back then the minimum wage was like $1.85 or something. It was really low back then. So that was a good paying job, and that was the lowest paying job on the railroad. Track laborer, I believe that would be the lowest paying job. And so it was a good career, and it was an excellent retirement, and it was probably the best move I made in my life working on the railroad. I mean, there's a lot of crap that comes with it, but in the end, it was all worth it.
Absolutely. So now, here's the final question. How was it that you found out about 4014 coming?
4014 coming, I believe it was on the internet.
Actually, wasn't it, didn't I send you something about that? I think?
You might have. I mean, I don't remember. You know, the older you get, your memory's about that long, you know. But I can tell you what happened in 1975. You asked me what happened yesterday, and you know, I draw a blank. But
Yeah.
I can tell you what happened in 75, like in very detail.
But yeah, it's always great to be able to talk to the ones who did stuff back when the railroads were still the biggest thing ever. And I mean, Conrail was probably one of the big things of the latter half of the 20th century.
Yeah, it was 7 bankrupt railroads that they put together, and it was a very successful endeavor.
But anyway, folks, this was my good friend, Mr. Jerry Nadolny. Mr. Jerry, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
interviewing.
Stephen.
And
My pleasure.
I'm glad we were able to come and be able to see this together.
Yeah.
And everybody, we'll continue on with the show because by now, that locomotive's not that far away.
I'm waiting to hear the whistle.
You bet.
In front of a train, what? No. It would be like, they would have like a store in the front half of the road, but they zone that out.
And then there's one over there in Mary and Davidson.
So at lunch where it's like a business, and then maybe a couple levels apart. I love that. That's just 5 over 1. Yeah.
I hear 'em.
We'll have food and drink if you promise to come. Well, thank you for coming. And when you leave, take your time. I gotta go down and unlock gates for you to get out. All at that end, okay?
Okay.
So give me a little time.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
This is so cool.
More hot dogs are ready to be cooked. You don't have to leave in a hurry. We're not going anywhere. Thank you. You're welcome.
I like places like this.
You guys ain't seen the half of it.
Yeah, we haven't even seen the first bit. Everybody's just been so nice here. Yeah.
You ain't called the city of good neighbors for no reason.
Oh yeah. I like the boarding signs. You know what I'm talking about? How there's one big mural that says, tell the world about Buffalonians, the ones that came up with I would never not be here. Big boy. Yeah. How fast did it go?
That's a better picture. This year's 10-4.
Headlight!
I see a light. It's showtime.
Right here. It's going to be right there. You're going to see it. It's going to be right there.
Not moving too fast. Go for the line.
goes from the front to the back. Same thing for the footage. As it goes from the front to the back, what you'll notice is that it gets fancier and older. So like that very last car is one of the last.
Was gun.
Someone pull my chair.
Just like that. That was gun.
You got my can?
Yeah, big boy. Yeah, hon.
And that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Union Pacific Big Boy 4014 has traveled across the country and has rumbled into the city of good neighbors. I cannot find the words to express the excitement I felt as it rolled on by. My favorite locomotive of all time returned to its home state, along with the thousands of my fellow Buffalonians and countless visitors from out of town, out of state, and even out of the country. I am beyond happy to experience this landmark event. And for you, the viewers of this video, thank you so much for watching. I was not expecting the video to last this long, but hey, when a once-in-a-lifetime event like this happens, you go all out, you know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had so much fun making it, and I hope I can politely ask you to leave a like so I know that you had fun, subscribe for more content, and be sure to repost and share the video. It may be cliche, but it helps out immensely in this day and age. Thank you all again, and I will see you in the next video where we see Big Boy 4014 on public display. Thank you, and happy rail fanning, ladies and gentlemen.